Hello everyone. In this video, we shall see how to do accounting of intercompany transaction, which is mainly related to transfer of funds by one entity to another. In the old mechanism, what used to happen, let's say an entity IELB Lebanon transfers 200k USD to Ekistruck Hong Kong. So the in the old mechanism, the accountant of entity IELB would make an entry. He will select the vendor code, okay, and credit the cash and bank account, okay. And same on receipt of the fund, the accountant of Ekistruck Hong Kong will debit his bank account where the funds are received and credit the vendor code of IELB in his books of accounts. Okay, and as you know, these vendor codes are linked to the GLs based on the vendor group selections. Okay. Okay, so that's how the transaction were happening in the old mechanism. Okay, so in the new mechanism or the new method of accounting an intercompany transaction, what will happen? The entity, the entry will be done only by the entity which makes the payment. Okay, so here both the accountants were making the entry in their respective books. Okay, so that's why if you see there might be a question of reconciliation if the entry is posted in the books of accounts of IELB but not accounted in the books of Ekistruck Hong Kong. So in that case, there might be some unreconciled item that may occur if the entry is not done at both the ends. So to eliminate this mechanism and to explore the facilities and the new methods of intercompany. So this entry would be done by the entity ILB and they will do the entry as cash and bank credit of ILB and they will also debit cash and bank of Ekistruck Hong Kong. Okay, so you might be assuming how they will do how they will select the cash and bank of Ekistruck Hong Kong. So the entire transaction, the new mechanism will see on the system how it is being done. Okay, so let me go through a transaction that I have already prepared. So if I will go to the general journal and I will select the intercompany voucher, you can see IC voucher, and if I select the IC voucher I will select the bank. So I mentioned over here the bank account of IELB is credited, so I'll select the bank account from which the IELB have transferred the fund to Ekistruck Hong Kong, the description 200k, and here in the offset company I will select Ekistruck Hong Kong because I'm transferring the funds to the Ekistruck Hong Kong company, and I'll select the bank type and I will select the bank account to which the funds have been transferred. So this bank account is for Ekistruck Hong Kong, and select the currency in which the transaction is actually being done. Okay, so this is how the intercompany transaction would be done. For the dimension side, if you see, for the main account it will be IELB because it is accounted in the books of ING Lebanon, and the second effect we are giving in the books of Ekistruck Hong Kong. So their entity is, country code is HK. Okay, so this is how the transaction will be done and posted in the system. So now to see the effect of this transaction, I have extracted the TB. So in the books of IELB, actually the entry would happen as the GL, which is link account debit, and cash and bank credit. Okay, so if you can see, so 45121 account debited. So I've just taken a hypothetical vendor GL code. So this account debit and cash and bank account credit. All right. And if you go and see in the book of Ekistruck Hong Kong, you can see the intercompany transaction is credited and the bank account is debited. Okay, that is how the transaction is done. So now if the IELB does the transaction with many entities and the GL remain the same, so there might be a confusion that a lot of transaction would be parked under one GL and we might not get the split under for which entity what are the transactions. So to eliminate this issue, what we have done a bit of customization. So when the transaction is done, so in the books of ILB, the transaction was done for Ekistock Hong Kong. So here on the offset company side, you can see it is Ekistock Hong Kong. And the similar, if you see in the book of Ekistock Hong Kong, you will find the transaction. This has been come from I Engineering Lebanon. Okay, so that is how the intercompany transaction would be done. So you guys also be wondering, since we did not select any GL, it was bank to bank transfer, the GL is not selected. So let me tell you, for all the entities of the company, whatever the relationships we have already identified, and we have assigned a GL on the backside. Whenever the entity is done does the intercompany transaction, based on their nature, whether it is a holding subsidiary or the related party, the GL would be automatically selected and the effect will be taken. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do the payment or the transfer of fund from one entity to another, and the right to do an entry is with the books of means the person who is making the payment will do the entry in their books of account, and accordingly the second effect in the books of extra compound would also be taken into consideration. Okay, thank you.